In 2025, I really found my groove with some tech that I've had in my life for a while, and I also acquired some new things that I'm definitely taking with me into the new year. For those who are new here, I'm Sequoia, and welcome to the Electric Climate. Last year was the year that I built my first gaming PC, which is the computer that I have over here on the side of my setup. And this was not only a very exciting acquisition in my life, but also one of the most expensive things, if not the most expensive thing, that I purchased last year. Being able to play Baldur's Gate 3 was actually a really big motivator for me in building my PC, and I know that I'm a couple of years late on that bandwagon, but it was a game that I had my eye on for a while, and the only other gaming console that I have is a Nintendo Switch, the original one, and obviously that's a really fun console. Love Nintendo games, but it's limited, and so Baldur's Gate, in addition to some other games, were kind of inspiring me to build a PC. I have a couple of videos on this PC, so if you are interested in the parts that I used, or you like watching PC building videos, or you're curious about this case in particular, which is the Phanteks Evolve X2, which is to me the highlight of the machine, then I will link them in the description. But overall, if you're somebody who's interested in tech, then I would definitely recommend building your own PC. Like, it was just a really fun experience to get to choose the parts, do the research, and build it with your own hands and then get to use it. I think it's something that if you're interested in it and you have the budget for it, I would definitely recommend it. In addition to just being a fun piece of tech, I also think that the PC really adds to my setup. After I built that, I felt like my desk setup aesthetic really came together. The case that I chose, it really matches with the other themes that I have of kind of the white with the silver accents, and obviously there's some RGB, which I like a little bit in my setup too. So I felt like it really just pulled the space together, and I'm super happy with how it came out. Going along with the PC itself, I wanted to talk about the two games that I played the most last year, because I would definitely recommend both of them. The first one is Baldur's Gate. Yes, I know this came out a couple years ago, but if you are like me and you haven't played it because you didn't have a PC or haven't played it for some other reason, I think it still holds up really well. It's an amazingly fun game. The storyline is very immersive. The gameplay is fun. The world is huge. It ticks off so many boxes of things that I like in a game, and I had a blast playing it last year. I'm not done, so I'm going to keep playing this year and probably finish if I don't get distracted. I have a tendency to start a lot of things and not finish anything, so we'll see. Maybe I'll make it a goal to finish that game this year. Another game that I played a lot of last year that I'm actually going to try to not play as much of this year because I played so much of it and I stayed up really late a lot playing it, is Planet Crafter. So, is this a plug? Is it advice against playing it? I don't know. Take it for what you will. But I really enjoyed just putting this on and either watching a YouTube video or listening to an audiobook or podcast. This is a really good game to just kind of have on and being able to do something else. The next category of tech that I wanted to mention is kind of desk accessories, and both of these are actually kind of in the same subcategory, being audio related. The first is my Edifier QR30 speakers that I have here. These made a huge aesthetic improvement in my desk setup. That's kind of a theme that you'll hear from me in this video, because to me, the aesthetic of the desk that you're sitting at all day is really important in kind of creating an atmosphere of productivity, relaxation, and not just feeling locked into this space that you spend so much time at. So A, the aesthetics are really nice of these speakers, but B, I really enjoy having a speaker on my desk. Previously to that, I was just using headphones or like a little mini Bluetooth speaker. And so having a really nice sound quality speaker has been a huge quality of life improvement as well. I'm not going to go too in depth on the speakers themselves in this video because I do have another video on them, which again I'll link in the description if you're curious. But overall, these were one of my favorite purchases of 2025 and not something that I will be getting rid of this year. My other favorite in the desk setup category of tech from last year is the NZXT microphone that I have. It's the Capsule Elite model. As you can see, it follows that same theme of my PC and a lot of other elements in my setup. It is silver and white, and I just really liked the sideways orientation of the mic itself. It adds a little bit of a different aesthetic, which is something that I like. I like to have less items on my setup, but more statement or unique pieces. So this to me was something that caught my eye as soon as I came across it. The quality of the mic is also good. I use this both for work when I have meetings, and I use it when I'm gaming with friends. So it gets a lot of use. It's been holding up really well. I like that there's a little headphone jack on the back, so if I don't want to use my speakers, I can plug my headphones into that and just have the mic and my headphones if I'm playing games late at night with my friends and my wife's already gone to bed. You also have two options with how the mic is set up. You can twist and have it in this vertical position too. So if you like the look of that better, there's some options with how the mic is set up. The next couple of things I'm going to talk about are all related to reading and writing. I really like reading. It's another hobby of mine besides tech, probably my other most prominent hobby. And so this Kobo was one of my most exciting and most used tech purchases of 2025, and something that I plan to use going into the new year and beyond. This is the Kobo Libra color. This is what I use primarily now for reading. There's a couple reasons why I really prefer this over a Kindle. The primary reason are these buttons right here. It's just a very nice experience to hold this and have buttons on the side. I think that lends itself very well to reading in bed, which is why I use an e-reader most of the time. This flips around so you can hold it either direction, and you can actually hold it like this too. I talked about this in another video, and it's still something that is going strong in my life. I use this all the time. If you check stats on here, let's see, how much have I used this? I've spent a little over 100 hours total reading on the Kobo, so I feel like I can give a pretty informed review of this and say that it is something that I am so glad that I purchased. I love the analytics features of this in addition to the shape of the device. It's nice that you can switch what appears in the header and the footer of your book, so you can change it to different progress tracking options, and you've got two. You can turn them off too if you want. There's a lot of other nice quality of life features that you would expect from an e-reader, like brightness adjustment and the color. So if it's nighttime, you can make it a little warmer, during the day a little cooler. I use the Libby app to read most of my ebooks because I get them for free through the library. If you're in the US, I definitely recommend checking out Libby. You can borrow an ebook and then it comes straight onto your device. It works with Kindle, it works with Kobo. I believe they have support for other e-readers as well. That's definitely something I would recommend. Speaking of Kindle, the next top tech item for me from last year is actually a Kindle. This is the Kindle Scribe. And while I don't use a Kindle anymore for reading, I do really love this for taking notes that I know I want to transcribe and put on my computer. The Kobo also has a pen that you can purchase to do note-taking or annotating. However, it's an additional cost. I think it's kind of expensive. The Kindle Scribe comes with the pen as it should, and it's really easy to create notebooks, folders to organize your notebooks on here. There's a lot of different options for page layout. You can have blank pages, lined pages, dotted. They have some other like templates for calendar, to-do list, different kind of planning layouts. And it's just a super simple process to write in here and convert it to a text file, send it to yourself via email, and the accuracy I've found is really good. Even when I'm kind of just scrolling, the transcription to text is almost always entirely accurate. Sometimes there's a couple mistakes, but this is something that has been a lifesaver when I want to just write notes. I don't want to type notes because I like to write, but I know I want a digital copy of that. And the reason why I prefer this to my iPad with an Apple Pencil is the feel of writing on this, the feedback that you get from the screen, and I do have a screen protector on here, but the feedback of this pen with the screen, it just feels a little bit more like paper. To me, writing on the iPad, it's just a little too smooth, and I know you can buy special screen protectors, but I don't want that on my iPad for most of the time that I'm using it. So for me, this is a really optimal experience for digital note-taking. The last few things that I want to talk about are kind of in just a miscellaneous category. And the first one is this mini printer. It's the Canon Ivy. This is a more recent purchase for me. I bought this in November and I am obsessed. I took this with me on a trip that I took at the end of the year, and the purpose of this is to print out pictures that come on a sticky paper, and it's really great for travel journaling. If you are somebody that likes to travel journal, I would highly recommend this. I know that there are better quality printers out there, but A, they're more expensive, and B, they're bigger. So to me, this was a really good compromise. I actually bought a cheaper option before this that I ended up returning. So don't waste your money. If you are going for a mini printer, this, which I think was around $100, which is expensive, is kind of the minimum I think that you need to spend in order to get a quality of photo that's worth even printing. It prints a zinc image, so it doesn't use ink. It's just a heat reaction on the paper. The printer paper itself is not too expensive, so it's not something that you're not able to keep up with or you want to like reserve too much. There's a couple of themes with the tech that I really enjoyed last year, and photography and photos is one of them. So we've got the mini printer and also an instant camera. This is the Instax Mini 41. And this is actually an upgrade for me from the Instax Mini 9, which is a camera that I have had for, I want to say 5 years, and it was going strong for a really long time. I noticed recently the camera quality got kind of just shaky and the photos were coming out a little blurry, and so it was time to upgrade. I am really pleased with the Mini 41. In terms of size, it's quite similar to the standard Instax, although this one I think looks nicer. It's a little, the other one is kind of like, I don't know, it gives me teenage vibes a little bit. This one I just feel like has a nicer look to it. If you're looking for an instant camera, I've used these, like I said, for about 5 years now, and I think it's just a really nice thing to have when you are gathering with friends and family. It's a nice way to keep memories. The last tech favorite that I have from last year is actually an app, and so I can't show it to you right now because I film with my iPhone, but it is an app that is probably only going to be interesting to those of us in the US, which is a Celsius to Fahrenheit app that has a widget for your home screen, a widget for a lock screen, and it matches the Apple weather aesthetic, which is kind of a silly thing, but I just really like the way that this app looks on my home screen. I hate that Apple weather makes you switch between Fahrenheit and Celsius and you can't just see it. Why wouldn't they just put that on the same screen? Anyway, it is an app that I found because I was specifically looking for something to tell me what's the weather in Fahrenheit and Celsius right at the same time. And so I've been really enjoying this app, and I would definitely recommend it for any of those of you who are like me and don't have Celsius memorized. Those are all my tech favorites from 2025 that I am bringing with me this year into 2026. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have about any of the things that I mentioned. I will link the videos of the speakers and my PC that I mentioned in the description below. And I'm really curious what your favorites were, or if there's anything that you have on your radar for this year that I should check out. So definitely leave me a comment and let me know what your favorites were for last year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.